The Look team just completed a series of content for one of our newer clients, Currents Wealth Strategies. Currents is a financial advisory startup that needed polished, trustworthy content integrated into the public launch of their financial services. In their case, they serve a very unique level of high net worth clients. So the initial representation of their services needed to be perfect. Currents' expertise, experience, and reliability immediately stands out, and it's perfectly aligned with the amazing people that their financial planning firm is intentionally designed to serve. We are super proud of the work we did for Currents and how well their founder, Nate, performed on camera. Especially for somebody who has very little camera experience, he did such a great job. Here's something that might surprise you. The brands that are often in the best position to benefit from what Look offers are the smaller ones. Why? Because when a big established brand comes to us, they already have their identity, their messaging, and their strategy locked in. We execute, but when a growing brand comes to us, we get to help build all of that from scratch. The strategy, the story, the full content ecosystem. That kind of full service partnership is a huge advantage for our smaller clients. We call it FitFo, or figure it the fuck out to get the job done properly for our clients. So for growing brands, that means unlocking a level of support most of their competitors simply don't have access to.
This one is a little bit more conversational, and then emphasis on the not, but you're not.
So what made the Currents engagement so exciting? They're a brand that was hungry to grow. We had a massive scope of deliverables and real pressure to perform with those deliverables. That's the kind of challenge that brings out the best in our team. Typically, Look will start our engagements with smaller companies with what we call a strategic sprint. This is a 30-day process that Lear, my co-founder, and James, our CMO, typically lead from top to bottom. It is a full analysis of their current marketing efforts, their goals for video, and much more. At the end of it, we have fully mapped out exactly what will be the most effective pieces of content and how it will complement their additional marketing tactics. It's a super informative process, and I'm always impressed with the team's ability to produce a plan after these sprints. Anyways, for Currents, we determined that we needed a combination of cinematic videos and what we call funnel-driven videos. So let's dive into each of these separately. For the cinematic videos, or what we call hero videos, these are the ones that pack a punch. Typically, they're the first thing people see when they land on your website or social media page. These are the videos that you send directly to a potential client. They watch it and are like, wow, all right, we need to work together. For Currents, we did a highly produced overview video that hits on a wide variety of topics, such as Currents services, experience, founder story, etc. It covers pretty much everything at a high level, but doesn't dive too deep into one particular subject. It is gripping, compelling, and makes you want to learn more. Then we did a process-driven hero that dives a little deeper into how Currents actually works, what it's like to work with them, which is designed to be watched after the overview video. Now we get into the funnel-driven videos. These are more specific, have a direct use case about a specific service. For example, one of the pieces of content was specifically speaking to people who are on the verge of retirement and need some advice on how to manage their money post-retirement. Another would be for an executive that is leaving a company after a business sale and needs help with the transaction. All videos have a script specific to that particular use case. These funnel-driven videos could potentially even be more effective than our hero videos, because if they reach the right ears, they can close the deal for you. Overall, we've produced a total of 23 different assets for Currents over 3 separate shoot days. My job as the executive producer is to make sure we can accomplish what we need to within budget while maintaining the production quality needed. With growing brands like Currents, it's about maximizing every dollar of investment, something we've gotten really good at. Luckily, having our own studio helps a ton with figuring out how to keep things within budget. It minimizes venue fees, travel expenses, and overall just makes things easier for our team because all of our stuff is literally here on site.
Today we're shooting 4 scripts here in studio. We're gonna do 2 scripts here in front of the slat wall.
Right here we got the Amaran 300C as our key light. Our subject really well. We have the Amaran F22C as our hair light, which helps separate our subject from the background.
We're running with the A9 Trio. Side angle right here with the 70 to 200 on it. We went with a vertical angle just to cut to as well. We got the 50 on it, real buttery look on that one. And then we got the 24 to 70. This is gonna be cam A. gonna give us that nice wider look.
Slow down just a tiny bit, and I think we'll nail
That's
it.
exactly the kind of conversation we have every day. We love to have it with you.
And we shifted over to use the same setup you see me in now.
Watch the cords, bro, 'cause it's doing to be like a true profile.
These scripts were shorter and focused mainly on the funnel-driven content mentioned earlier. Then we found a venue here in Phoenix that we felt was consistent with Current's look and feel. Professional, but approachable.
Those accent lights like in here.
All right, so we're here today in Phoenix at Low Loft, which is our shoot location. We have a 3-camera setup for our first interview and probably will for the second.
This shoot was a little bit more complex as we had a bigger crew, talent was involved, and obviously in a new location we haven't been to before. One thing that Look is very good at is maximizing each production day. In this case, we batched a total of 7 scripts, a ton of B-roll content, and shot between 5 different sets in one venue.
I'd like to compare us to the New York Yankees. We're just clicking on all cylinders, you know. The guys who we need to show up in the darkest hour, they're showing up. So it's a team effort, and the team is grooving right now.
We also have to keep in mind that a lot of this content is going to be used on different platforms, so Google Ads, Meta Ads, etc. when it comes to framing and ultimately what will come out in post-production, and we were able to accomplish this with all of our shoots with Currents. Our ability to maximize each production day is a huge win for our clients. They get exponentially more content from a single production day, which means their investment goes further and their library continues to grow at an exponential rate. Then our third shoot was here again in studio in front of our LED screen, and these scripts were more funnel driven as well. We love shooting on the screen as it accomplishes a look that is pretty unique and completely customizable based on the brand using it. So all in all, our work for Currents is a great example of how really any business can have a serious edge when they partner with Look. You get the full playbook: strategy, story, production, distribution, and that's something that gives smaller brands a really powerful impact. I hope this was helpful for everyone watching, and if you have any questions about how this engagement was organized, just let me know in the comments. All right, peace.